Okay. This is my Alpha 90, as I'm sure you're all aware. You'd have seen last Sunday, in fact a week ago today, I loaded a quick short sharp video letting you know what this sounds like, because it's broken. It's very broken. Don't really know what else to say on that front, but we shall rebuild her. It is going to be rebuilt. Fortunately, I've got some very good friends in the Alpha community, and we're all going to rally around and get the engine rebuilt. As far as it stands at the minute, I have my suspicions of what's happened, but there's also some other ideas that are floating about in my head and a couple of my friends' heads as well that happen to be specialists with these engines. And by the looks of it, this engine has been in pieces before. Looks like it's had new cylinder heads on. There seems to be a small child being murdered over there, but never mind. It appears to have had the heads removed in the past for whatever reason, not entirely sure. The car did stand for around 30 years before I owned it, and it benefited from a very sympathetic but very thorough overhaul, which included new brakes, new fuel tank, new fuel lines, new calipers, new brake lines, new discs, new pads, new handbrake calipers, new calipers, timing belt, water pumps, you name it. Anything that a car needs, and when it's been stood for any amount of time, this car received, and it's received it very well. But what's made the engine do what it's done, not a clue, because the engine itself now, well, it doesn't even turn over, it's locked solid. I'll demonstrate for you. So, my thinking is, something's come adrift somewhere. Now, bearing in mind, this engine did what it did has done what it's done with no warning whatsoever. It all happened within the space of 100 yards. I was doing 40 miles an hour, and I was in fourth gear at about 1600 RPM. No warning, clattered up, and next thing I know, I'm at the side of the road with a huge cloud of smoke coming out the back. Not even running. So, what I think's happened is, or what a few of us think's happened, is down here. I'll bring you in to show you. If you're on my camera mount, you see in here, move that hose out of the way. That there, this thing here is the cam belt tensioner, and it's oil pressure reliant. The idea, it relies on oil pressure from the engine to keep the belt tight. Now, could that have partially begun to fail? Quite possibly, because if you have a look here, that's one of the timing marks, and if you look over to the other one, there should be one that correlates it in the same position, and there's not. It's right around the other side, which automatically with these engines, if the timing does slip even minorly, pistons will hit valves. So looking at what's happened is, yes, there's some serious top end damage happened, i.e. smashed valves into pistons, etc, which is probably now why it's locked solid, or the bottom end of the engine has suffered a bit of an oil pressure loss and took the crank out, i.e. seized the bottom end up, snapped a rod, and it's buried itself in the cylinder head, hence why all the timing's messed up. But none of that can be guaranteed until we get the engine out and we get it in bits, and it's not going to be done here. It's not going to, well, I'm going to be doing some filming with it when the engine's in bits, because these engines cost an absolute fortune to rebuild, and I'm not going into how much it's going to be costing, but let's just say many tears were had. But there can't be much wrong with the bottom end, because the oil is perfectly clean and is perfectly on level, give or take a little bit because the car is a little bit on a slope. So you heard the video last week. For some reason, when I did upload it, because I was in a bit of let's just say I was not impressed, I forgot to enable the comments and list the video for children, because it's, well, yeah, children can watch it, but I need to basically allow you to comment, because I thought it's strange with you know, the amount of love that my cars have got. I thought it's strange no comments were coming. It was only when Joseph told me, why aren't your comments switched on? I was like, I don't know. So just giving you a quick update as to what's happened and what we're going to be doing with it, because there's numerous shows and special appearances this car's going to be making over the next year or so, given the current lockdown situation, etc. So it needs to be done, and the engine will be done for May. We'll be back on the road by then. I've just sawned it because the tax is due at the end of the month, and so is the MOT. The MOT was supposed to be done yesterday. So that's where we are at the minute, and I thank everybody for continued support and nice comments. Want to switch the comments on. And more will be said about these because they're for the 90. Let me know what you think. There's also something else that I've done as well. There's also fitted, as much as I'd like to be able to let you know how it sounds, a brand new genuine Alfa Romeo rear silencer box and chromey pipey bendy things. So on that note, keep smiling everybody. We will rebuild you, and it needs to be done, doesn't it, really? Because let's face it, when are you going to see another one? Yeah, so had a few tears last week, as to be expected, because, you know, it's a rare old car. She's not going to be going to the scrapyard or anything like that, so it's going to be rebuilt. The 166 continues to perform admirably. It was filmed last week by Mr. Richardson, and hopefully his video will be all edited and up to date. Wow, that sun's bright. Over the next couple of weeks for your viewing enjoyment. So thanks everybody for you know, as I say, continued support and all that kind of stuff. Yeah, let me know what you think in the comments, and I'll be glad to hear it. Thanks everybody, see you soon.